How's it going, guys? I'm going to hope that you can all hear me and see me just fine. You know, uh, I'm not entirely sure. If my brother's gonna appreciate this or not. At this point, it doesn't even really matter. Um, my concern for today is: Are the cops always? For today is: Are the cops always right? Now, I know this is not what I normally, you know, live stream or broadcast about. But this is what it is today. Are the cops always right? So, I'm going to fill you guys in. I'm going to let you guys know exactly what transpired today. So, I have a twin brother. For anybody who doesn't know that, a few of you guys might, because I know you personally. Um, and today my twin was pulled over for driving with a suspended license. I won't go into any further details about that, but he was taken to jail. And the reason being is that he was driving under a suspended license. There are some other things also, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the cops were right in this case. Otherwise, I would not be making a case about it. You know, I feel like this cop, my wife said it perfect. This cop was fishing, is what he was doing. He was fishing for somebody. I went to the police station. I went up to jail where they're holding him, and I demanded that they release him because they violated his constitutional rights. Now, I'm not saying that, aside from his rights being violated, that he was, not properly taken into jail under other reasons, because there are other reasons why he was taken. But it doesn't make it right. It doesn't. His wife has a condition. She has seizures and cannot always be driving. If she's not feeling well, who else is supposed to drive? You're going to put this woman behind the wheel of a vehicle? So we went to the place where he's being held, and he has court tomorrow. And when I asked the cop, I said, "Okay, so you're telling me that this cop was well in his rights to question my brother, and ask him for identification?" And the cop like, "Well, your brother didn't obey the law." When the cop asked him constitutional rights to do so, he doesn't have to show you any identification. Look this up. You can Google it. You don't have to show a police officer any identification. You don't have to. It goes against your constitutional rights. We don't have to have IDs. Read the Constitution. There are plenty of videos out there on YouTube that you can find that will tell you that you do not need an ID. You don't need that at all. And if a cop asks you for it, you have the right to refuse to show them. It's bullcrap that they would even do such a thing. Because they tell you, well, this is the law. Well, in 2011, after 9/11, they passed a law that says that you have to show an ID, that you have to carry an ID. But when that law contradicts our constitutional rights, where do you draw the line? Which one is right and which one is wrong? Ask yourself that question right there. Which one is right and which one is wrong? For those of you guys whose fathers are police officers, they're probably gonna argue this down. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, man, it's the law, it's the law, it's the law, because they're trained to uphold this law. But who is being trained out there to uphold our constitutional rights as people, as individuals? Where does that come into play? When our rights are being violated and we're being incarcerated. So I found out later, and this is something that I didn't want to tell you guys. My brother used my name, and I'm not even mad at him, dude. I'm not even mad at him about that. You know what I mean? But what makes me mad is that this cop still violated his rights. He still violated his rights by trying to make this man prove who he is when he doesn't have to, man. When you're scared senseless, when this cop is walking up and he's reaching for his gun as he walks up to the window, yeah, I'd be terrified. I'd be I'd be shitting my pants, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? We live in a world right now where men, not just black men, not white, not Mexican or Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? Where just people are being gunned down by cops for no reason because they got a traffic stop and they think that because of the way you look, you're a dangerous suspect. That they can just walk up on you with their guns ready to draw on you at any moment. If you reach for your phone so you can videotape it, they're going to shoot you 12 times in the head and in the chest. So you give them a false name, hoping that it will help. And they still take you to jail. Because now you just gave them a reason to. But does that make it right or does it make it wrong? When you don't have any probable cause for being pulled over, this cop says that I've been watching you for days. I've been watching you for days. Go in, get in your car, and leave. Today I saw you do it, and I decided, well, I'm just going to pull you over and take you to jail. Is it really right? So when I got up to the police station, he tells me and my sister-in-law, well, because she has a condition, she has seizures. Well, you should call a cab. We've got the green cab running around here. Call them. These guys who barely even show up to your place or to your place of work to come and get you at the end of the night, at the end of your shift. I mean, are we supposed to subject ourselves to that so that these cops can feel better themselves, so they don't have to pull one more person over for not doing anything wrong? He wasn't riding around and selling drugs or anything like that. He was clearly going about his business. How many more cases do we need to hear about before 2018 is over that the cops are wrong? Ask yourselves, is it right? I normally don't talk about this sort of thing because honestly, I try not to care. Line in the sand, and we got to take a stand somewhere along that line. We have to take a stand somewhere along that line and ask ourselves, do we really matter? I get it. There are some bad people out there. There are people who do terrible things. But when you're just minding and you're just running errands, I mean, is it right? So I'm going to leave that for you guys to decide. Again, this is a very controversial debate. Some of you might agree, some of you might not. I'm gonna leave that up for you guys to decide. So leave a comment down below, man. Please share this video on YouTube with your friends, with your family. I'm not just sitting here and I'm not race baiting. I'm not against the cops. Believe it or not, guys, I wanted to go and become a cop. Like I'm 34 years old. And I know I'm pretty old to even be trying to do this stuff. I've got bad knees and all this other stuff, man. But I want to abuse my power. I don't want to bully people into submission because I want to be a good one. Because that's what we lack nowadays. I want to be a cop still. But because I know for a fact that it's the sort of people that become cops that are either the good ones or the bad ones. So please comment down below if you agree, if you disagree. That's totally up to you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge anybody. I just want your opinion.